Hey y'all. So there's this video going around TikTok right now, showing a bunch of 80s movies and how back in the 80s was like the best time and we had so much fun. And there's a song that plays with that video called Live to Tell by Madonna. And I've watched it a few times this week, but today that song, it got me. Um, and I actually made a video earlier today when I was in my feels, and I'm actually glad I didn't process it and submit it and to be seen because, yeah, it was in my feels. Anyways, for those that know me, you know that I'm a person that likes to seek answers, find facts, study historical things. I'm just all mercurial. I have a lot of mercurial in my astrology chart, Gemini and Virgo, so I'm all over the place. And there's parts of me through my life that I've struggled with. There's like the constant battle between perfectionism and wanting to be free and not follow authority. Wanting rules, analytical, logical, to not wanting that. And I, so many things came to me this afternoon after I had this big cry fest earlier. And I'd like to share them with you. I hope you stick around and listen. If you don't, it's okay, no big deal. But here we go. So yesterday I shared a video around me expressing myself in times when I had situations in my life that I had gone through that weren't always great. And the people that were involved in those situations would get upset for me expressing and talking about something that happened to me that I went through and happened to have them involved. And I understand both aspects of the story of why people who might have been involved would be upset about me sharing that story or stories. But in the same breath, it's also taking my voice away when I have had to keep myself quiet about stuff that I've gone through. And when I said before in the beginning of this video how this has been a 6-month portal back in October, actually it was like November, I shared about me leaving my job and changing careers completely and how I was closing out a 10-year cycle with that job. And it was just a lot of emotions that I was going through in the moment. And I had some comments shared with me later of concerns about me, and that people that didn't think I was healthy, for the weight that I have gained over the last few years, and thought that I was not really reflecting on things that I had going on within myself. And this all ties into this video that I made about the shame that's projected onto me of people's wounds that they have, of where me sharing my story or talking about things or freely expressing myself ends up triggering other people and it's projected onto me. And I've struggled with this whole situation today with that song of all things, of why it's been so hard for me to, in all of my relationships, why I've been triggered constantly around how I express myself or how I communicate or how I say something or whatever, and why all this stuff is always projected back at me of this shame and judgment or corrections or and really it's me also doing this to myself when I am in those situations where I'm corrected or where I'm, you know, those wounds or triggers are projected onto me for just naturally expressing myself. Why I shamed myself and judged myself for doing those expressions. When I was a little girl, I remember playing with some people that were from the town over from us. And when I came home, I started to say things, ways, expressions of how they expressed themselves as well, in a tone or in a word that my father didn't think was proper. And so I was told by him that I wasn't to talk like that, that that's not how we talked. And this is, the word was ain't. Okay, I said ain't. And I realized where that shame was coming from. My dad, in human design, We all have one big wound that we come into this life to heal. And that wound is around, for him, was around shame. And my mom actually has that same wound. But I realized that so much shame that they experienced in their life, of how, the shame that they put on themselves about how people saw them, or how they presented themselves, or how the world, and a lot of us struggle with this in society. Like, we have to look good, we have to present this image, we have to do this, we have to dress this way, we have to talk this way, we have to communicate in a certain way, we have to be educated in a certain way, or there's shame and judgment that's pushed on us. Now, reflecting back in these periods that I was talking about earlier in this video, if anybody that knows me knows I like to look for the why. But what I'm realizing now, because some of my belief systems are changing around what I've believed before, is that sometimes having facts, sometimes having the why, sometimes knowing and understanding the reasons why, or a label that's put on something that you've experienced, doesn't always take the pain away. And during those events that were in 2015 to 2017 and 2005 to 2007, and even back into my childhood, I experienced some really heavy, deep things that were breaking up my foundation, my family, essentially. In astrology, the ruler of my chart is the fourth house, which my deepest wound that I came into this life to learn and heal from is separation from the mother specifically. And in astrology, the mother represents the fourth house. Well, the fourth house is the ruler of my chart. And here I go with the whole, like, finding the facts, connecting the dots, those type of things. And the reasons I experienced these major shakeups in my foundations around my family was to learn and understand that it's okay to be separated, that it's okay to break away from people, places, and things, belief systems, anything that could be oppressing you or could stop you from being your most authentic self. And sometimes that is breaking up a family, or breaking up in relationships, or breaking away, walking away from a job, or walking away from friendships, or breaking away from a belief system that has been carried and passed on through your family and your generations for hundreds, even thousands of years. And I feel like all this stuff happened today. All these dots got connected for me today so that I could freely express what I came here to teach other people, which is that you do not have to stay stuck in places, people, or with people, or in things or belief systems that do not allow you to express yourself in the most authentic way. And we constantly are tiptoeing around how we talk about something, how we say something, because we're afraid of hurting other people's feelings, or having their wounds projected onto us, because essentially that's what we constantly keep doing, is we are projecting those wounds that we came in here to learn and evolve from onto each other, and then we absorb them and we take them on as if they're ours, and then we walk around with shame, separation, um what's some of the, I can't think of, there's 6 major ones. I'll have to make another video about that. I can't come, they're not coming to my mind, but anyway, I'm digressing. Very Gemini of me. um so I just wanted to share this video with you guys, because if it touches anybody today, to understand that you can walk away from whatever it is that you want to walk away from, if it's not allowing you to fully express yourself in your most authentic way. Pisces is an oppressor to Virgo. Virgo right now is about clearing out the karma, walking away, closing out karmic relationships, whatever those may be, for you, and healing from your past. And it's time for us to do that. So I just want to share that with y'all. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have an amazing full moon and releasing what you need to release. And I love you guys.